Level 1. The deckhand. You're 14 years old, 1715. Nassau, Bahamas. You don't own shoes. You don't own land. You barely own your name. The docks smell like salt and rot and rum. Merchant ships creak in the harbor. Navy ships loom farther out, flags snapping in the wind. You watch them from behind a stack of sugar barrels. You've been working since you were 9, hauling rope, scrubbing decks, sleeping in cargo holds with rats the size of cats. Your hands are calloused. Your back is bent. You're 14 and you already look older. A merchant captain pays you 3 shillings a month. 3. You count the coins over and over. It's never enough. Your father made less. He died at 40 with nothing to show for it. You're on the same path. Then you hear about pirates. They don't earn 3 shillings. They split treasure. Equal shares. A common sailor might take 50 pounds from a single prize. More money than your father saw in 10 years. You tell yourself it's temporary. 1 voyage, 1 score. That's what everyone says. Level 2. The signing. You're 15 now, standing on the beach outside Nassau. A stolen sloop rocks in shallow water. About 80 men stand around it, some missing teeth, some missing fingers, all armed. The captain reads articles aloud. Equal vote in matters of importance. 1 share for every man. 2 shares for the captain, 1.5 for the quartermaster. Lose a leg? 600 pieces of 8. Lose an arm? 500. Lose an eye? 100. It sounds insane. It sounds fair. You press your thumb into ink, then onto paper. Your name barely legible. You just declared war on the British Empire. Level 3. First hunt. You're 16. The Atlantic is wide and merciless. Your ship, 24 guns, 90 feet long, cuts through heavy swells. Your job is simple. Climb the mast. Watch the horizon. The mast is 60 feet high. The wood splinters your palms. Wind slaps your face. You climb anyway. At dawn you see it, a fat merchant brig. Spanish flagged, probably carrying sugar. Maybe silver. You shout down. The deck erupts, cannons loaded. Powder measured, fuses cut. The first broadside hits at 40 yards. The recoil nearly knocks you flat. Smoke blankets everything. Your ears ring. You board with a pistol in one hand and a cutlass in the other. Your hands are shaking. The Spanish sailors look just as scared as you. It's chaos, screaming, splintering wood. 1 man falls beside you, blood dark against the deck. 10 minutes later, it's over. You're alive. They're prisoners. You find 120 barrels of sugar, 8 chests of coin. Your share? 73 pieces of 8. You've never held that much money in your life. Level 4, the reputation. You're 18. 2 years in, your name is known now, or at least the name you chose. Black Finch. Sounds dangerous. Sounds bigger than you feel. Your ship has grown. 36 guns, 140 men. You vote in captains now. You argue about targets. You drink rum by the gallon. The crew gathers on deck every few weeks. Someone proposes a prize, a tobacco convoy, a slaver heading north. Everyone gets a say. 1 man, 1 vote. You raise your hand with the rest. You've taken 11 prizes in 14 months. With your share, you buy silk shirts, a silver ring, pistols with carved handles. You walk into taverns and people know your face. Women smile, men step aside. You also buy silence, tavern keepers who don't ask questions, dock workers who look the other way. You're making real money now. 200 pieces of 8 every few months. You bury half on a small quay. You spend the rest in Nassau. The tavern becomes your second home. Dice games that last until dawn. Rum that burns going down. You wake up in alleys with empty pockets and a pounding head. You swear you'll save next time, you never do. But the Navy is hunting you. A 32-gun frigate chased you for 3 days last winter. You barely escaped into shallow water where their larger ship couldn't follow. You watch them from the reef, close enough to see their frustration. You start sleeping with a pistol under your hammock. You wake at every creak, every footstep. Paranoia becomes normal. Level 5. The storm. You're 20. Hurricane season. The sky turns green at noon. Wind hits 80 miles per hour. Waves tower like walls. You lash yourself to the mast. Rain stings like needles. The horizon disappears. There's no up or down, just water and wind and the scream of wood tearing. A cannon breaks loose and crushes a man's leg. You hear the snap over the wind. He's screaming. Blood runs across the deck, mixing with seawater. The surgeon works by lantern light, saw, bite stick. Blood on the deck mixing with seawater. The man passes out halfway through. You hold him down anyway. You remember the articles. 600 pieces of 8 for a lost leg. The man survives, barely. He'll never walk right again. The next morning, half your sails are gone. 2 men are missing. The sea doesn't give them back. You find their hammocks empty. Their belongings still there. A carved pipe. A letter from home. You divide their shares among the crew. You realize something? The Navy isn't the only enemy. The ocean is. Level 6. The gold. You're 22. You intercept a treasure galleon rumored to carry silver from Havana. It's bigger than anything you've faced. 40 guns, 200 crew. You attack anyway. 3 hours of cannon fire. Masts splinter like matchsticks. Hulls crack. Smoke so thick you can't see the sun. You taste gunpowder with every breath. Your ears stop ringing. You realize that's bad. It means you've gone deaf from the blasts. You board again. This time you don't shake. You've done this 20 times. You know where to step. where to aim, how to move through smoke without getting shot by your own crew. When it's done, you count 180,000 pieces of 8 in the hold, stacked in chests, bags, loose piles. Your share is 1,200 pieces. You stare at it, you can't process the number. It's more than your father made in his entire life. It's more than most men see in 3 lifetimes. You bury 800 pieces on a small K. You mark it with a stone, you tell no one. The rest you take to Nassau. For 2 months, you feel untouchable. Silk coats, fine boots, you pay for entire taverns to drink. You wake up next to women whose names you don't remember. It feels like freedom, but it's emptiness wearing a good coat. Level 7, the crackdown. You're 24. The British offer pardons in 1718. Sign, surrender, walk free. Half your crew considers it. Some take it. You watch them walk down the gangplank. Some look relieved. Some look broken. You hold the pardon document in your hands. Royal seal. Signature line. All you have to do is sign. You think about the 800 pieces buried on that K, the life you could buy. A ship, a business, a quiet death in a bed instead of a noose. Crumple the paper. You think you're smarter than the crown? Faster. Then they send more ships. Better armed, better trained. Captains who don't give up after 3 days. One dawn, you wake to cannon fire before you're even dressed. A Navy frigate pins you against a reef. You're trapped. No shallow water to slip into. No wind to run with. You fight for 45 minutes. You lose 19 men. The deck is red. The air smells like iron and burnt powder. You're captured. Level 8, the end. You're 25. Shackled, London. They parade you through the streets. Children throw rotten fruit. Adults cheer. You're the monster from the stories. The villain. The warning. Your trial lasts less than a day. Witnesses, evidence, sentence, death by hanging. They march you to the gallows at Wapping. The rope scratches your neck. The crowd is thousands strong. Some cheering, some silent, some just watching to say they were there. You look out at them. You think about the 800 pieces buried on that K. The storms, the sugar barrels, the first 3 shillings, the man who lost his leg, the 2 men the sea took. Was it worth it? The trap door drops. Level 9, the truth? You're not special. Between 1715 and 1725, over 12,500 pirates sailed the Atlantic. Most end like you, swinging from a rope, rotting in a cell, shot on a beach. A few escape, a few retire rich. But most swing. The Golden Age of Piracy lasts barely 10 years. It feels bigger in stories, romantic, adventurous. In reality, it's short, violent, dirty. You start at 14 with nothing. You end at 25 with a rope around your neck. And somewhere in Nassau, another 14-year-old boy is watching the ships, counting his 3 shillings, thinking about 50 pounds, thinking about freedom.